Start your day with purpose. Let your soul awake. On the daily ride, find strength for every step you take. A journey with Jesus, discovering your true name. His love lights your path, no day is ever the same. The daily ride, let your heart be free. Devotion every day for you and me. Understanding grows, faith comes alive, step by step with Jesus.
Hey trail riders, welcome back to the Daily Ride. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about abundant grace. James 4:6 is our focal passage, and it says, "But he gives a greater grace. Therefore," it says, "God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble." Scriptures that give us through the Bible in a year is Ephesians 5 and 6, Psalm 67, 1 through 7, and Proverbs 11:27. Grace for human weakness. Every person faces inward tendencies that pull the heart away from God's best. These tendencies may appear as pride, impatience, selfish ambition, fear, resentment, or the desire to control outcomes. James reminds believers that God does not leave them to overcome those weaknesses by willpower alone. Instead, he gives increasing grace, strength, help, wisdom, and divine enablement to meet every struggle that human effort cannot conquer. This grace is not merely a comforting idea. It is God's active assistance in a believer's daily life. Where natural strength reaches its limit, grace supplies what is missing. It teaches the heart to yield, strengthens the will to obey, and reminds the believer that spiritual growth is not achieved by striving harder, but by depending more deeply on God. The lesson of humility. Much frustration comes from trying to overcome wrong motives, unhealthy desires, and selfish intentions through personal determination alone. A person may sincerely want to change and to still discover the determination is not enough. Growth begins when the heart comes to a place of humility and recognizes that God gives grace to the humble, not to the proud. He helps those who are willing to admit their need, confess their dependence, and ask for his help. Humility is not weakness, it is spiritual honesty. It acknowledges that apart from God, the strongest intentions can still collapse under pressure. A humble person, still pretending to have everything under control, and begins receiving the grace that pride keeps at a distance, depending on God's strength. People often have strong ideas about what they can accomplish, yet it is easy to think more highly of personal strength than wisdom allows. A humble heart understands the part of God. Lasting change is impossible. True progress begins when self-reliance gives way to dependence on his power, and when personal confidence is replaced by trust in his faithfulness. Depending on God's strength means inviting him into hidden places where habits are formed, motives are tested, and desires are shaped. It means allowing his word, his spirit, and his timing to do what self-effort cannot accomplish. The believer is not passive in the process, but is the source of power is no longer the flesh. It is God working from within. Letting go of self-effort. When believers insist on planning their own way and trying to force results in the strength of the flesh, frustration usually follows. The repeated feeling that nothing seems to work often points to a deeper need, learning to trust God's grace rather than striving in human effort. What cannot be changed through pressure, control, or determination can be transformed by surrender, faith, and patient obedience. Self-effort often produces exhaustion because it places the entire burden of change on human ability. Grace shifts the burden back to God where it belongs. The believer still chooses obedience, but no longer tries to manufacture transformation through pressure or condemnation. Instead, change begins and becomes a fruit of walking with God, listening to His correction, and receiving His help one step at a time. Resting in the process. The better response is to relax. Let God be God. And stop being harsh or impatient with the process. Spiritual change usually unfolds little by little as God draws the believer closer to Himself. The journey is not meant to be driven by pressure, fear, or self-condemnation. It is meant to be walked with trust, patience, and confidence in God's grace. Resting in the process does not mean ignoring areas that need to change. It means trusting that God is patient, faithful, and fully able to complete the work that He has begun. Instead of measuring progress only by the outward results, the believer can learn to value steady surrender, renewed thinking, and a deeper dependence on God. Grace makes room for growth without giving permission to remain unchanged. If you desire to be free, be willing to exchange human effort for trusting in God. Our final thought comes to us today from Psalm 19 and verse 12, which says, "Who can discern His errors? Acquit me of hidden faults." Mark Guy Pierce had this to say about this passage. The world wants men who are saved from secret faults. The world can put on an outside goodness and go very far in uprightness and morality, and it expects the Christian to go beyond it and to be free from secret faults. The little crack will spoil the ring of the coin. The whole world expects, and rightly, that the Christian should be more gentle, patient, and generous than he who does not profess to be a disciple of the Lord Jesus. For the sake of those who take the notion of religion from our lives, we need to put up this prayer earnestly: cleanse me now from secret faults. God bless you guys. I hope you'll continually follow me here on the Daily Ride, and I'll see you on the next trail ride.